Well, boyos, it happened. Mr. Khmer, Mr. Coonface, is in margin debt. As a matter of fact, he's in such big margin debt that he got a margin call. So here's our handsome hero right here, Mr. Cheek Clapper 9000. And he's pulling up his amazing 10x account, which is only down 19% on a day. That's a pretty healthy account, right? Dividends, passive income dividends, dividends. The account ending in 817 has money due. $5,852. We've been trying to tell this massive, doofus, clueless, grifting, scamming, filthy clown for months that he is making a massive, massive mistake. Such a massive mistake that at some point, if the market collapses, which it briefly did, he could potentially be margin called, which is a situation where if you don't deposit enough cash into your brokerage account, your securities get forced sold to bring you back into compliance. Because this idiot right here, we the Khmers, is borrowing money at, I believe, a 13% interest rate, which, oh, by the way, is higher than the historical returns of the market, but dividends. He's been borrowing money, and his portfolio balance has dropped so much that Schwab has demanded that he deposit more money. We tried to warn him, okay? If your portfolio almost dies because of like a 3% drop in the markets, like the overall market, there's something very wrong. But this disgusting piece of trash doesn't care. He is so stupid that he thinks this is okay. He thinks it's so normal that he's going to preach it on the internet. And he's going to send people to the frickin' truck stop. But you know what? It's YouTube. Doesn't matter. You could be a clueless idiot. You don't understand anything. You don't realize that your dividends aren't actually income. You freaking clown. The return of capital. You low IQ doofus. Embarrassment of an officer. None of that matters. Because it's YouTube, bro. Now, let's go ahead and check out his portfolio and just make fun of this guy. Because he deserves it. Margin call hero. So, this is a great clip that was recorded by a freaking hero. Let's see what Khmer has to say.
You are not really, you can have good friends and you are tight with friends, but you're not going to be tight with him until you actually poop next to each other. When you're pooping next to another man, you're pretty tight. You're going to get really tight pretty quickly. And that's what the military does for me.
Okay, look, I've been in the military for 13 years, and I pooped next to another man maybe a couple times when I was a young officer. That doesn't happen anymore, okay? But for some reason, Khmer likes to flaunt his military service because he's a fraud. The more that people talk about their service, the more likely they're frauds. I can guarantee that. But I just wanted to share this clip because if you listen to Khmer, if you follow his investment wisdom, your butthole ain't gonna be tight. It's gonna be very, very loose from massive dongs getting shoved up it to pay your freaking bills. Okay? Now, Khmer is so stressed. He's so under massive pressure that he's starting to blow up on his fans, on the subscribers that just want to learn. In this video clip, we're gonna watch Coonface freak out over somebody asking a legit question about a very important topic that almost liquidated his entire portfolio. Let's watch.
Okay, well then I also wanted to ask about the margin you employed, because my personal experience is that when you have like little money, let's say 50,000 or less, like, if you blow up and you end up, with a deficit, it's no big deal. You can recover from it. But like once you get to, let's say, 500,000, how do you approach that? Do you still go balls to the wall, or do you like tone it down, or?
Don't use it. That's your problem. Don't use it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the guy asked a legit question. Okay, so like I know you use margin, Coonface, because you're a total idiot, moron, degenerate, clueless clown, and a piece of, basically you're a criminal. You're scum of the earth. You should be thrown in jail. You should have your rank stripped. You should be busted down to private. Oh, God, I would love to run into you, boyo. I would destroy you. But anyway, this guy asked a question. Hey, Coonface, if, you have a big portfolio, should you use margin compared to a small portfolio? Because you could really have a catastrophic loss. Because margin amplifies gains, but it also amplifies losses as well. And what does Khmer do? Well, let's listen to what he has to say.
You are not ready. You are not ready for margin. And if anybody answer your question on margin, it's just a waste of time. I'm not even gonna. It's like, dude, you're like 2 steps away from. I should have just banned you without me. I normally just ban people without raising my voice, and I just ban you. As soon as you ask a question, I ban you. Like I knew there's gonna be a troll. Like, why would you? I want you to think how stupid that question is.
Margin is a big deal. As a matter of fact, I have never used margin in my entire life. It's insanely risky. On top of that, you're borrowing money and paying interest. So you're paying interest and you have the risk of blowing up your portfolio, of amplifying losses. It's a big deal. I would be very cautious about using that. And I'd be asking a lot of questions. But Khmer, what does he do? Yeah, what kind of stupid question is that? Dividend, I'm smart. I'm a diversity hire in the Army, Marine Corps. You're a freaking idiot and a fraud. Delete your channel, you scumbag.
Margin is your responsibility. It's your responsibility. Do you use margin on your Verano or whatever the name of your fund is? If the answer is no, so why would you use margin on these high yield dividends? It's your responsibility.
That is a great question. Why would you use margin on a product basically designed to drop massively?
The reason we know how to use margin because we know how to use margin. Because you don't know how to use margin, well, don't put it on us. Don't even ask us question.
Okay, so Khmer has this community where he supposedly wants to help people. And it's totally not to monetize his channel and make money off of YouTube. That's not his motivation at all, you disgusting piece of trash. Not at all. No, he has this channel supposedly to help people for questions like this. If I had a channel to help people, which at this point I'm just a grifter too. If I had a channel to help people, yeah, I would take questions about margin if I was actually talking about it. Because it's massive. You could destroy people with margin. And here's Khmer losing his freaking mind, calling people stupid because he's stressed out because he's about to blow up his portfolio. What a piece of trash.
We know how to use margin. We know how to use it. All of us know how to use it.
Oh, yeah, you know how to use margin, you freaking idiot. You almost got liquidated after like a 3% drop in the market, scumbag.
And we're not in the same boat as you are. And we don't have the time. We don't give a damn about explaining to you because you don't even conceptually think about it, even the question you ask. Like you don't even think about the question you ask yourself. This is crazy. Like, I mean, you're like, oh, well, have you think about this? You know, how much you played that? What kind of question is that? I mean, think about the question you ask because you're essentially asking question on things that we're going to spend a lot of time rabbit hole trying to explain something you don't even believe in. You don't even care about it. You have no faith. It's not a true faith. It's not a true faith relationship.
All this from a question. Oh, he's stressed, man. You should not be this stressed with your portfolio over a 3% drop in the market. If you're this stressed, something is very wrong with your portfolio.
We're here to help new investors all the time. We want to help everybody. And new investors, there are new investors ask all kind of crazy questions. And I will go hours and hours talking about that crazy question. But you're not
But you're blowing up now because you're stressed, because you made a massive error. And you know you're wrong at this point. But you don't care. That sweet ad revenue, that attention. Look at all these clueless dopes listening to you. Like you are an idiot. What is going on? What am I looking at? Look at all these people. You love the attention. You love it. You're eating it up. And you're making money. And oh, baby, you're on top of the freaking world. You don't freaking care, you piece of trash.
A new investor. You know exactly how margin works. There's no difference between your margin, my margin, or any other margin. It's not like there's a margin for a different selected group. It's not like it's the same margin. It's the same brokerage account. How you utilize the margin is the same way how we utilize the margin. It's no special way. But if you don't know how we utilize the margin, that's your problem. Because A, you're probably too scared to use margin. B, you don't know how to use margin, and then C, you're just trolling us. But my thing is that you probably it's exact same process. You use margin to buy Tesla, it's the same as buy Texas Instrument, it's the same. You buy AT&T, it's the same. Whatever you buy in your world is the same.
Well, if I wanted to speculate using margin, it'd be with a small account, not with a massive account. There actually is a difference, but about the size of the account that you use. I would say the larger the account, the less likely a chance you should be using margin. Because you don't want to blow up your main account. You can blow up your little clown account. That's not going to destroy you. But your main account, there's probably some kind of level where it's like, no, I'm not doing margin at this level. I think it's a legit question. I don't see the problem here.
It's you borrowing somebody else's loan. But we know how to use margin. Because these things pay high yield dividends. They pay 10%. They pay more than 10%. They pay 90%, 80%, 70%. And the margin is only 10%.
The return of capital is higher than the margin. The income is not higher than the margin, you fool.
The margin interest rate is only 10%, and these guys paying 80%.
Okay, they're generating 80% returns. Do I even have to explain to you that 80% returns aren't happening with these funds? Do I have to explain this? I guess I do, but I'm not going to in this video. They're not paying 80%, you clueless moron. Look how many people he's teaching. God.
Huge gap differences. Huge gap differences. Matter of fact, just by saying that, if I explain that to a high school kid, he'll figure it out pretty quickly. If I explain that to a new investor, a guy like
yeah, the high school would be like, I don't understand how you're making 80% returns. I thought Warren Buffett only got like 20% over time. But somehow your stupid, clownish dividend funds are paying 80%. Oh, yeah, that makes total sense.
Like you've been investing for a long time, we shouldn't have to explain you the gap differences. The margin fee is 10% on Charles Schwab. It's 6% in Robinhood. But these things is paying 80% interest.
False. That is a provably false statement. But he doesn't care.
So guess what? All that is income. And why do I have to explain?
No, it's not.
Yeah, you already know that, but why you even ask the question?
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. It's maybe because I'm new here and I don't know like the culture here. Yeah, that you maybe like take me as, being a troll, like you said, which is not true. Like I'm generally interested in the discussions that I've heard the past 2 days of people talking about, technical analysis stuff and and just conceptually about these products I've tried to understand. But I just want to tell you that I'm not trolling you and that, we don't need to be angry.
Yeah, well, like I said, I apologize.
Yeah, you better apologize, you freaking fraud. All right, so the last thing we're going to look at. So this is Comface's account value. So this is his actual equity. This is his debt. Let's blow this up a little bit. So his total equity, his assets minus his liabilities, like his actual ending net worth, his actual account value, is $60,559. He's borrowed $82,000. And the total account value is $143,000, the total market value. How to think of it is, if you have something worth $143,000, but you owe $82,000 on it, your equity is not the whole $143,000. It's the difference between the total value and the debt. It's like a house. It's like home equity. It's the same, basically the same concept here. This is his account value. This is what you would expect to go up if he was making money, right? Right? But, of course, he's down 71%. This isn't including the dividend income. But let's look at this. So his account value as of basically now is $60,500. That's his equity. Let's go back 3 months ago. What's his equity now? 3 months ago, his equity is $77,000. So how much has he lost in the course of 3 months? Let's take 60,550 minus 77,008 divided by 77,008. He's lost 21% of his account value in 3 months. If he was reinvesting his dividends, I mean, the account value should be higher. If he's making 80% per year, how is his account value, his equity down 21.36%, 37%? It's because he's losing money. He's clueless. He's a fraud. Okay? That concludes this video. This guy's a freaking clown. I'm tired of talking about him, but you know what? He's only going to get bigger on YouTube. Have a wonderful night.